Okay, Saturday morning in the kingdom, and guess what? It's freaking windy. Yes, so that wind generator that the YouTube subscribers, kingdom followers have suggested that Sir Rodney got. Yes, hopefully we'll be here next week and we can test it out to see how it works. Yes, highly recommended if you live in Saskatchewan or Wyoming. So this morning we woke up to +4 Celsius, but feels like 0, and it's a cold wind. All right, on the yo-yo scale, +39 Fahrenheit, but feels like +32. All right, today's going to be a shop day in the morning, and then wood in the afternoon, and then finish up with shop day. And we're keeping the shop nice and toasty warm, and having those square new fans that draw, how would you say, low amounts of electricity, because they don't have a ground plug wire. Yes, those other little fans we had a ground plug wire. Yes, and that means it draws current. And Dick is flying to the south. That's his second trip this morning, so he's probably dropping the crews off down on the southern mineral claims. Yeah, it's a good day for him to be flying and crashing too, as long as he's over there crashing, not here. All right, and we thank you people for buying us a coffee, which betters ourselves with a wind generator and other little things. Sir Rodney will show the complete palette when it's ready to come north. All right, I got my list. Yes, and there's Dick over there. We can't film him because what? It's windy over there. All right, that's about as far as we can go that way. And let's see what's happening over here. Unreal, the wind, but it's a good thing I got my jammy bottoms on for a windsock. All right, I got the stoves going for the Swedish kid, and it's going to be toasty warm in the shop while I work on the snow truck. All right, we better go. Here comes the boss.
Saturday morning in WHO-ville. It's just after 9 a.m. and as you can see, it's still pretty windy out here right now. At least there is a bit of a sun, but we do have some clouds rolling in. Maybe we'll get some rain or snow today. Now let's head inside and let the dogs out. My teeth are still pretty sore, so I'm not going to have breakfast this morning. At 1 p.m. I'll do some shopping and head to the kingdom.
Okay, after morning coffee in the kingdom, and I got the workbench cleaned off. Yes, so now I can make more of a mess. All right, so the first thing we got to do in the snow truck, yes, is go bolt the gas tank down, because most likely we'll forget at our age, and then we'll be driving around in the wilderness and the gas tank falls off. Also too, this morning when I was walking the dogs, I gathered up some fans from the storage trailer number 7, I think it is. So we got some fans here because we need to blow the heat around, because we're not putting defrost vents on this heater. We'll just let it blow into the cab of the truck and then blow it onto the windshield to keep it defrosted or defogged. All right, let's get to work. We have a busy day planned. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and it's still windy out there. Now I know how those 3 little pigs felt in their houses. A big bad wolf was huffing and puffing. All right, so we got the gas tank bolted down. I mean the fuel tank, yes. So we've done it preliminary with little 5/16 bolts, because you drill a 5/16 pallet hole to drill your 1/2 inch hole. So we did the big bolts the other day on the side, and today we reached in and did that. Actually, we're underneath there. Yes, underneath there, reaching up, and you can't get power tools or anything in, so we had to do it all by wrench, just like the old timers back in 39 when they were working on this truck when it was brand new. All right, let's go burn some lunch in the microwave.
12 p.m. and I'm just getting ready to make lunch. Today I'll be having Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs. It is something soft because my teeth still hurt. Now let's head inside, let the dogs out, and make lunch. It is windy out here right now. Almost 1 p.m. and I'm just finishing up lunch, and I'll head up to the store and grab a few things that are on the list. Sorry about the background noise. It is extra windy out here right now. Then I'll head over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to this afternoon. Made it to the kingdom and I just put the groceries away. I also split up the chocolate bars. That way my dad and I each get half of these. Now let's head down to the shop and see what we're doing today. Pretty sure we're going to take the 46 and the wagon down to the wood pile and get it filled. Over at the 46, my dad is just putting a tailgate on the back of the wagon here. This tailgate is off of the 41, I'm pretty sure it is. It's up by the house there with all the firewood in the back. My dad doesn't actually have a tailgate for this, so we're just putting something on temporarily so we can fill it up with some firewood. Got the 46 going. Now my dad will back it up and then head around down the south trail, and while he's doing that, I got the mini out and I'll head around to the wood pile. Down at the wood pile, and look who flew over the kingdom. They've been doing pretty good all day staying away from the kingdom, but of course as soon as I have the camera out, they fly right over us. I just caught them. If they crash, they'll be landing right on top of us. Didn't take me very long and I was able to get the little wagon filled. I ended up coming down to load from the bottom. It was too high and not much of an overhang, so I couldn't fill from up on top. Now my dad will take the 46 back up to the house with the wagon, and then we'll fill the box trailer. Got the 46 and the wagon back up to the shop. Even the box trailer is parked over by the shop doors. Now we'll quickly cut up some skis here and then fill the tubs and stuff out of the box trailer and the wagon. 2:30, we just finished cutting up a bunch of firewood and skis. We put the skis into the shop and then a bunch of firewood into the host shack. I'm officially done in the kingdom for today, so let's head back into WHO-ville and let the dogs out.
Okay, hiding out of the wind, we got some firewood lined up. Those big stuff, the ugly rotten stuff will last forever in the wood stove, kind of, sort of, maybe. And then the kindling crap that we have to clean up anyways, so let's burn it in the wood stove. No idea why the 46 Chevy truck runs so good. That's a junkyard motor. It's the last of the parts that were on the shelf. We shoved it together. It shouldn't even run or idle, but it runs great. The 45 Chevy truck over there, we spent a lot of money on that motor, tune-up kits, all that crap, and it runs like crap. Oh well. So the moral of the story, don't buy anything new. And also too, before I go in for coffee, we have the chop saw out. Yes, the chop saw. Yes. And I cut some pieces to mount the headlights on the snow truck. Yes. So now I can take my winter clothes off and go in and have a coffee, take my winter clothes off, and then when I come out I can be in the shop where it's nice and warm and not windy. Okay, 5 o'clock in the kingdom, and I suffered outside in that wind, so I'm sitting on the bar stool. Yes, doing wiring. This is how you do it. One spool of black, that's all you need, like Blackly Lawless from Wasp, black forever. Alright, so I booger welded on. No, I didn't. I used a 7018 3/32 rod and welded up hand and across and everything like that, so it turned out pretty good. These lights are Rodney got us. We siliconed that in there so it doesn't fall out. They put these wires, they're different lengths, they're different colors, but I figured out that one's the black one because I'm colorblind, and this one here, the shorter one, that is the bright. So what I did over here when I mounted these is I had to wire it in, so the wires are over here marked. So that yellow is ground and that's the red, so that's the positive. Yes, so it's going pretty good. We tucked it in. Made sure it was back far enough that we don't hit it with the hood. All right. So this is the hood off the 46 Chevy welding truck. And the end here was boogered up pretty bad from falling off and all that stuff over the years. So over the years, because you got to remember, I've had this hood over 35 years or so. All right. Can we see that? All right. Oh, it's going to stay. All right. So that's how you fix the hood, because the little pop rivets here get worn out. This is one of those rolled hoods and just rolls around. Okay, we have the hinge for this. We'll be putting it on, yes. But to make it the snow truck, we made our own little brackets. We made our rear grill guard or rad cradle, okay, and the extension here. And then we cut the boogeredness off the front and we made our own grill guard. So this rad cradle is the exact copy of the other rad cradles, yes. So we copied it. We didn't have the proper materials, so we made one. And we don't have the proper rad. So this is the rad that I jimmy rigged into the 39 Chevy back in the day before we got the aluminum. So when the money tree blossoms, yes, and we're rich and famous, we can get an aluminum rad to fit in here. But this is the 261 motor that the family had put into the 38 Maple Leaf. Oh, wait. There it is right there, because you got to remember the 38 Maple Leaf back in the day was a 6-cylinder flathead. So this was a great improvement having this motor. And also too, we have these snorkel tubes here. So we put the piece on, the aluminum flex thingy me bob, to suck hot air off the manifold so we're not icing up the carburetor. Alright, so let's continue the quest. We're having fun wiring. Yes, continue it on while we're still sober.
5:30 and I'm just getting ready to make supper. Not sure what I'll have tonight. Most likely spaghetti or something soft. I'm sorry about the background noise. It is still extra windy out here right now. Let's head inside, let the dogs out, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock and I had to go non-stop because I'm playing with black wires and a memory. Yes, so see, we got them marked here. We got some yellows and reds and everything like that. So it worked out good. I'm going to stay a bit longer and tie strap this all up so it looks good. We tucked it in down nice in here and went through the original hole there. All right, so over here. Okay. So here we go. Also too, we're at full power now. I always thought that heat gun was a piece of shit. It didn't have much blow and it never really got hot. So if I was doing my shrink tube, I would have to, I would say, preheat it. Like go have a beer and come back and the thing would get warm. And also too, when I use the AC/DC buzz box welder right here. All right, I'd marked on there where the 3/32 rod should be burning. I had to drop it 2 notches because full power, yes. So all right, so we got it done. All the trucks are the same. We don't boogerize the dash. Just leave it like it is for the future owners, you know, after they buy it at my estate sale or the museum. Okay, so we put this little rod angle iron across the bottom here for the toggle switches. All right, so then we tuck the wires in there nice, and we have to have a ground. So that ground is actually on the motor too, and to the battery, where the battery goes. All right, so everything's off the master switch, and we have these, how would you say, fuse holders, okay? So let's see if we got some lights. Master switch on. There, that's for bright. Ooh, look at that. Do a walk here. The little lights are bright, but I think I'm not sure what they are. Small little wires, they might be LEDs or something inside that bulb. So it gives it that old-timey look with the eyebrow. All right, let's see if we can try low beam. All right, reach over. There we go. Man, we got this looking professional. Yes. And also too, seems how we're going to have marker lights up there. We should have a tail light or something on it, because if somebody comes up behind me and I'm putting along on this in the snow truck and they come along at Mach 1, they could hit me. So we got a little space down in here, which would be perfect. Up in there, well protected. And we got one of these brand new light boxes. Yes, I think we can flatten it out one more time. We never throw anything out at the end of the world, because that's still good. Also too, Sir Rodney sent me up the fuses. We had to increase our inventory back in April, so it came ordered in April, was supposed to come in May. So these are different colors or shades. To tell you the thing, look at this. It says blade fuse clear. Well, isn't that confusion? Like Father's Day here in WHO-ville. Like, it's clear, so we don't know what it is. I'll have to read the package. Oh my. So I went through my wires. Seems how I got organized. During the, how would you say, the power outage for 43 days, all my wires organized. And when we went for the bolts here, remember we sat on the bar stool by the workbench for 3 days sorting bolts? Easy to find now. All right, let's wrap up the tools, tie up the wires. Well, it's still fresh in my memory. Okay, I got everything done in there. Looks good, yes, and it's probably close to 7:30. You got to walk the dogs and stuff. All right, so everything's looking good. We got some firewood. Now we just need some cold weather and some snow, but that's okay because we're having fun. We're using everything we got in the kingdom. All right, let's check on the flags. Oh, look at that. They took a licking today in that wind, but they survived. All right, let's go walk the dogs, make a video, and we'll talk to you later.